joined by head coach Chris Jans following tonight's New Mexico State game. Coach Jans, a little bit about the game, just a statement first off.
1 point short. Thought, if I remember correctly, I think it was 75-71, and we just stopped scoring. We couldn't find the basket there late. We had some chances to put it in a situation where it didn't come down to any late game heroics, etc. But unfortunately, we weren't able to do that.
Crystal, a year ago, this was a New Mexico team that I think you identified probably before a lot of other people, especially in Albuquerque, that they just didn't have a point guard. This year they got two guys that can really set up their offense a little bit better than maybe in years past. How much was their ball handling maybe a difference from the past couple of years?
I don't know about the ball handling. It was more their ability to score. I thought that was the biggest difference out front for them is, Jaquan Lyle is going to be a problem for most teams he plays all year long. I mean, he's got a brilliant skill set. He's got experience, size. And the thing about him is his feel. He's just so comfortable on the floor, no matter if he's on the ball, off the ball, up front in the paint. And, he's a load. He's a challenge. And certainly Caldwell, brings a whole other element to the game with his speed and his quickness and his ability to just eat paint, and he doesn't shoot the ball. Obviously, doesn't really look to shoot the ball, but he's very effective, even though he doesn't shoot the ball. And certainly, Zay Martin didn't do a lot tonight, but he's very, very capable. They got a lot of good players.
Coach Terrell Brown grabs the rebound there with about 4.5 to go before the final buzzer. You ever think about calling a timeout or looking to maybe set something up?
Yeah, my philosophy on that is I'd much rather play against a broken court. On a missed free throw, they're not matched up. They can't set their defense. I have to look on the video, but Terrell got it. And normally, he's got really good speed, and he couldn't take the edge on that defender. He kind of got up in him, and he eventually gave it up. But that hurt us in a chance to get a better look. That we just couldn't clear that first defender. Certainly in hindsight, we can talk about that. Should I, coulda, woulda. But we've been very successful in those situations in the past when it's a missed free throw, and again, they're not set. They can't jump in some sort of 2-2-1 zone or soft press, and they're not really matched up. And obviously, it didn't work out for us this time.
Yeah, Brown on Lyle in the first half, and then in the second half, it seemed like the defense changed a little bit. Do you think Brown should have stayed with Lyle that second half?
I don't know. I mean, that's pretty minute. I have to go back and watch the tape. But we were rotating guys around. A lot of it had to do with foul trouble. We were saddled with a lot of fouls in the first half. We had a bunch of guys with 2. And then CJ Bobbitt and Johnny both, got some serious foul trouble there in the second half. But, I'd have to look more deeper into the video.
Did it have any impact? Blowing down in those final 30 seconds with a couple of turnovers. But at the end of the day, is that shot by Jabari something that you're willing to live with?
I thought it was a pretty clean look. He's been shooting the ball very well in practice and came off the game where he made some threes late. I thought it was a pretty clean look. I thought it was going in. Unfortunately, it didn't. But from where I sat, I thought it was a pretty good look at the basket.
Did you know coming in that you...
trouble a little bit. Did having to go to small ball in the second half or the better part impact anything like drastically? I know it didn't derail you guys, but did it change?
It affected us a little bit on, what we run. Trev was playing the 4, and he's practiced at the 4 and played some 4, but it limited us a little bit in what we could run. And I don't think it had that much difference in the game. I still think we did a decent job on the boards, even though we were a little smaller, especially when Trev was at the 4. But it definitely limited us a little bit on how we attacked them.
Shooting 21% from 3. I know they're a team they've left a lot of space on the perimeter this year. A lot of teams have put up a lot, but was 33 what you would have wanted to shoot in a game like this?
I was fine with probably of those threes, maybe 1 or 2 of them. And I think we took a lot of bad shots. I don't know, at some point, Sean Williams can't go 1 for 6, and Terrell Brown can't go 1 for 8, and I could go on and on down the line. I mean, at halftime, I think we were 3 for 17, if I'm not mistaken, and talking to the coaches, like, at some point the ball's going to through the net, right? Like, the ball's going to start falling, it's going to become contagious, and everyone's going to make a basket too. I thought when CJ Bobbitt made that 3, okay, here we go, because he's been really shooting it well and struggling in the games, and I thought as a team we would rally around that, and other guys would get it going a little bit, and unfortunately we're not shooting the ball very well, We're just not. And again, I mean, we'll certainly nitpick it and talk about shot selection, but the way they defend, you know, and their size in the paint, and you're going to have to shoot some threes.
Trellin's hand, any update on Trellin's injury?
I have no idea.
Sure. Do you think it affected his play at all in the second half?
I have no idea. You got that skin.
Moving forward to the Caymans now, a chance to get out of town for a little bit, 2-3 sitting. You think this is coming at a much needed time here? You think it's a nice time to get away?
I haven't thought about it. I just know that this is new territory for us. You know, it's new ground for me as a head coach. We've been 2-3. Some of the mystique that I think that we've had is over. You know, the streaks we've had are over. We're under 500 for the first time since we've arrived, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a lot of soul searching to do, and all I know what to do is get back to work and roll our sleeves up and try to get better. You know, right now we're not built for 3 games in 3 days. We're just not. So it'll be a heck of a challenge for us. There's a lot of good teams over there. Certainly a lot of travel involved, and probably more importantly, just where are we at, in our head and emotionally as a basketball team, and how do we, get out of this rut.
From what you've seen from your experiences in the past, lastly, can these sort of trips, these holiday tournaments, can they provide benefit for your team if you're in a bit of a rough stretch?
Yeah, they provide a lot of benefit regardless of where you're at as a team in that particular season. Just the opportunity to play 3 games in 3 days. You don't do that during the regular season except for these exempt tournaments, and it gives you a chance to see what it's going to feel like, when you get to the conference tournament. I think that's the biggest advantage, and that's why I love playing in them. Is you're not used to playing back to back to back. We're not in the NBA, and so you get in the conference tournament, you have to do that. So it's invaluable experience for our team to be able to do that.
Anybody else? All right, perfect. Thank you.